Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking all about scripting and how I use it with the law of attraction. I will also be delving into some of my success stories with it and how you can use it to start manifesting experiences and things that you desire. So if you're not aware, scripting is a tool that can be used with the law of attraction to help manifest and bring yourself into the feeling of already having what you want, so that it speeds up the manifestation process and then we can get our ultimate desires into reality. I have used scripting a few times in my life, and I have gotten amazing results. Whenever I manifest something specific, it's always because I've scripted it, and it's always because I've written it down. So if you're unaware, I like to use scripting with the law of attraction, and the law of attraction is a universal law that states what we give out, we receive back, and that is in the form of our feelings, what we speak, how we feel, and our energy that we give off as a vibration. So an example, if we are giving off a negative vibration and we're in a bad mood, then we're more likely to attract negative situations back in the form of people, situations and events. Whereas if we were giving off a positive vibration and we're expressing gratitude and love and joy, then we're more likely to attract, you know, positive experiences back in the form of desires, situations, experiences and people. So that's just a quick explanation of what the law of attraction is if you are unaware as of yet. So scripting, I really like when I want to manifest something, and when I really want to like get into the feeling of having my desire already, I like to write it down. And the reason why I like to write it down is because while we have it in our mind, yes, we can conjure up the feeling of having what we want just by visualizing it and imagining it, but there is something about putting it on paper that brings it more into reality and that speeds up the manifestation process. So, you know, once we put it down on paper, it's there, it's already materialized in a written form, and I almost like feel like it's a great way to really connect with what you want and your desire, which I believe is the key to manifesting with the law of attraction. I believe with the law of attraction we have to feel into what it already feels like to have what we want, and scripting is the best way to do that for me. And I've heard amazing success stories. I've had success stories myself, which I will delve into in a moment. So yeah, I would basically describe scripting as writing a diary, but a diary as if you are your future self. So if you imagine you wake up in 10 years time and you have everything you want, how do you feel? What are you waking up to? Really like get into the details of everything, and I'm going to give you an example with one of mine. So 2 years ago I left my 9-to-5 job to focus on my blogging, and at the time I had a MacBook that I'd got secondhand, but it was basically on towards the end of its life, and I didn't know when it was going to give up, but it happened to give up just before I left my full-time job, which meant I was left with no laptop, no computer to do the blogging that I wanted to do. And so I'd heard about scripting. This was probably the first sort of time that I'd tried to use it, and I sat down with my journal, with a pen. I actually have it here, I can read it out to you in a minute. And I really like sat down and got to the details of the exact MacBook I wanted next. So I researched a little bit, and I searched about the models there were, what would be, you know, what would be the ideal Mac specification for my use, and I decided on it, and I sat down and I wrote this letter. So this is my first scripting, my first time at scripting, and I wish I had dated it, but I hadn't. Hold on, let me just see. It's a bit, yeah. So I wish I had dated it, but unfortunately I didn't. And so I'm gonna read it out to you. It says, "Dear universe, today I used my brand new Mac. The seal had not even been opened yet. I pierced the plastic covering with my fingers and lavished the new smell of the box. My heart is filled with joy as I hug the box, which contains my new MacBook Pro. And then I go on to describing what it feels like. So I say, I ran my fingers across the box, excited to finally open it and experience the first contact with my new baby. I am filled with gratitude that I have received this MacBook Pro. I loaded the screen, and as I turned the system on, I immediately noticed how smooth and quickly it ran with a CPU of 1.5. The screen was so glossy and I could see my reflection perfectly. No finger marks on the screen as of yet. Finally making my mark on the Mac, I signed into my Apple ID and set my personal background picture and set a password. I love my new MacBook. I am also grateful that it has USB ports for when I upload pictures from my camera. It has a storage of 256 gigabytes and is great for storing my files for writing, and it also has an 8 gigabyte RAM, just perfect for my use. Thank you, universe. Love, Kiarna. So, as you can see, I went into detail, and as I was writing it, I really felt into like how it felt to touch it, how it felt to look at it. I obviously got into the details of this, like the exact specifications that I wanted, and on the back I wrote, so be it, so it is. And I shut the journal, and you know, after like really feeling into it and believing that I already had it almost, I let it go. So 10 days later, we're gonna skip 10 days later, I had a text from my boyfriend who was over. He'd gone to the barbers, and he said, oh my, Kia, I think I found you a Mac. And I was like, oh really? And he was like, yeah. And at that time I decided that I was only willing to spend between sort of 500 to 600 because that's how much I had in my savings at the time, bearing in mind that I was just leaving my full-time job, so I couldn't really go over that. So yeah, and he said, yeah, this guy that I have on Snapchat, my friend, said that he wants to sell his MacBook like ASAP, he needs the money. So I said, oh, what MacBook is it and how much does he want for it? Because if it's basically brand new, I'm sure he's gonna want like a brand new price, you know, for it. So he was like, it's this, it's a 2000, it was basically a new model at the time. It had 8 gigabyte RAM. It had the exact specifications I'd asked for, and I was like, oh, that's amazing. But in my heart I sort of thought, he's gonna ask for much more than I can give. So I said, ask him how much he would want for it, and if he, like, you know, if he matches the price, then I'll get it today. So he come back to me, and Isaac says to me, he wants between 500 to 600 pounds, and I was like, no way, no way. 10 days after writing my letter to the universe, after using scripting as a tool for the law of attraction, I got it. And I got it that day, and I paid 500 for it, and here it is. I still have it. It's been my baby ever since. It's been amazing. And that is just an example of what scripting can do and how it works. And I have another story, which was my recent one, which is about my part-time job. So I actually dated this one, which is great because at least it gives me an idea of the time frame that I done it. And yeah, anyway, so last year I started to look for part-time work because obviously I was working from home, and it got a bit hard for me, just sort of like not socializing, and I needed a bit of balance in my life at the time. So I started to look for a part-time job, but I really wanted a part-time job that I would enjoy, that wouldn't burn me out, that would suit my needs and would suit like how I like to do my content on the side and have a bit of income anyway for the month, just to sort of stabilize my situation. So I dated this the 1st of June 2018. I don't know if you can see that. Come on, focus. No. Yes. I'm gonna read it now. So I said, "Dear universe, thank you for my new part-time job. I am so grateful that I only work 2 to 3 days a week and have my evenings and weekends free. I am also grateful for my salary of £8 plus per hour. The staff treat me like family. I feel comfortable, confident and liked at my new job. This job has done wonders for my current situation and is only a few minutes to get to. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So be it, so it is, Kiarna Jayne." 1st of June I wrote that last year, and I had been looking ever since. I had a few job interviews, and almost like every single job that I'd applied for, I would have an interview, I would go, and then I would be like, they would really like me, but there would always be one person after me left to interview, and it always seemed good. Like, I'd always get the recruitment agency to speak to me and be like, "You know what, they really like you. You've done really well. They've got one more person to interview and then we'll let you know." So I'd always sort of get my hopes up a little bit, I guess. And then they would interview the one person after me, and this happened, I'm telling you, it's happened on so many occasions. And this one person they always interviewed after me had a little bit more extra experience, and just because they had that little bit more extra experience, they then got the jobs. And you know, I started to become a little bit disheartened, and I started to feel like, oh, why, like, what is it, why am I not, like, why, what do these other people have that I am not giving, or I am not, like, am I not giving off the right energy? So anyway, it got to December and it was Christmas, so I thought, let me just stop looking for now, have a rest. When it hits the new year, people will start looking again, and I'll obviously start applying again. And so I have a next door neighbour who is a childminder. Well, she was a childminder, but she opened up a nursery about a year ago, and it's literally just a few minutes walk from my home. And I thought about asking her for part-time work before, but I just hadn't got around to it because she's barely at home, she's always at the nursery. So I was at my nan's, and I'd gone down there for a few days, and my mum was here, and my mum bumped into her just outside, and my mum asked her on my behalf if she was looking for any like part-time staff. So she was like, yeah, get Kiarna to give me a call. So I gave her a call, we spoke on the phone, and she asked me what I was looking for, and I said, you know, I only really want to do like 3 days a week, and she was like, you know what, that's absolutely fine, leave it with me. So I left it, and then she called me up and asked me to go in for an interview / trial. So I went in, spent an hour with the children. I absolutely loved it. Obviously I knew her already, she was my neighbour, she's seen me grow up almost, and I got the job. But when I looked back at this entry that I'd written, this scripting entry that I'd done, it was exactly everything I'd asked for. It was a few minutes walk from my house. I'll get treated like family because I basically know her anyway. The salary was on point. Every 3 days a week, like, it's almost like, and the thing is, I wasn't even searching. When I wasn't searching, it came, and I was just, you know, amazed by how everything I write down, whenever I write down anything and I get into specific details and I feel into the feelings, it always manifests. And so I really wanted to come on here and share this tool with you guys, because I really feel like it works and it's amazing, especially if you feel into it. I think the key with the law of attraction and the key to manifesting anything is your feeling. And once you really feel into the feelings of already having what you want, and like I say, you already sort of make it realistic by putting it down on paper, there is only a matter of time between you and your desire and it coming into reality. And it has amazed me, and it continues to amaze me. I even manifested this camera that I'm using right now. In 2018 I had a manifestation jar where I'd have like little scriptures or things that I wanted to manifest, and on one of them, I actually got rid of them at the end of last year to obviously create new ones for this year. But one of them I opened up and I saw it and I forgot that I'd actually like written it down, and I asked for a Canon EOS camera to do YouTube with, and I've now got a Canon EOS camera. But the funny thing is, I really feel like me throwing it away was almost like me surrendering it even more, and within the next month I'd got my camera. It's amazing. If this has given you any inspiration to try scripting, I honestly recommend you go and try it. And if you already have had success stories of scripting, I would love to hear about them. Please leave them in the description below. Yeah, that's it really. I just wanted to come in here and share that tool, share my successes with it, because I really believe that it's an amazing tool, and it's brought some of my best manifestations into reality. So there really is a power behind writing things down. And thank you for watching. I really hope you've enjoyed this video. If you would like more videos on any other tools I use to manifest, then leave a comment in the description below. Make sure you subscribe to get notifications on my new content, and thank you for watching. I'll see you later.